Raja Raja Chola sat cross-legged upon the royal throne. His crown of gold and rubies glittered in the flickering lamplight, a stark contrast against his saffron robes. Outside, the tropical rain lashed against the palace walls, but here in the Grand Durbar Hall, there was only hushed reverence. Before him stood two of his generals, heads bent in quiet respect. They had returned from the battlefield bearing good news. Raja Raja Chola's enemies lay defeated. Victory echoed in the cadence of their steps, in the glint of their armor, in the very air they breathed. He nodded, a subtle movement, but his eyes, they gleamed with ambition. This victory was but a stepping stone. His empire, the Cholas, stretched from the southernmost tip of India, where palm trees caressed the ocean, all the way to the fertile Ganges Delta in the north. It was an empire forged in discipline, held together by efficient administration and bolstered by military might. He traced the rim of his drinking vessel, a thoughtful frown creasing his brow. His gaze, sharp as a honed blade, surveyed his domain, not just the land he ruled, but the people, their lives, their hopes. Raja Raja Chola was a ruler who measured his success not just in conquests, but in the resonance of his deeds within the lives of his subjects. Victories were good, yes, but they were echoes of what could be. His real ambitions swam in the vast expanse of the sea, whispering tales of distant lands ripe for trade, for cultural exchange, for conquest. As if sensing his thoughts, one of the generals spoke first, his voice resonant with excitement. Great king, across the sea, the Srivijaya kingdom grows in power. Their navy is strong, their trade routes extensive, the other general added, his tone laced with caution. But their king, he is ambitious, bordering on the reckless. Some whisper he seeks to dominate the Indian Ocean. Raja Raja Chola remained silent, his gaze fixed on the far horizon. He knew the tales of Srivijaya's prowess, their stranglehold on the trade of spices, of ivory, of precious stones that adorned the crowns of kings. But ambition, true ambition, was a flame that burned brightest in the darkness of limitation. He turned slowly toward them, his eyes blazing with determination. This reaches the Chola Sea, he declared, his voice echoing with authority. My empire shall extend not just to the fertile lands of the north, but shall find its home in the embrace of the endless sea. The generals exchanged glances, understanding dawning in their eyes. It was a sentiment often voiced, but their king had a way of turning aspirations into marching orders. To reach the sea, though, they must venture through the heart of the Srivijaya kingdom, a perilous journey fraught with the risk of war. Raja Raja Chola rose from his throne, his movements graceful despite the weight of his crown. Prepare the fleet, he commanded, his gaze unwavering. We sail at dawn, under the cloak of a moonless night. A fleet of sturdy ships slipped out of the Chola harbor. Puhar, one of the greatest ports in the Indian Ocean. At this hour, it was a tableau of controlled chaos. Sailors barked orders, ropes creaked, and oars dipped rhythmically into the water, propelling the vessels forward into the heart of the endless sea. Raja Raja Chola stood at the prow of his flagship, the wind whipping his crown jewels across his face. Behind him, his generals and advisors huddled, their voices carrying across the waves. As they sailed, merchants hawked their wares, the rhythmic calls blending with the lapping of the waves against the hull. Amidst the clamor, the king observed, taking stock of the sights around him. Fishermen cast their nets, their boats bobbing like corks on the water. Women washed clothes on the shore, their laughter mingling with the cries of gulls. All was well in his empire, for now. Soon, though, they would need to pass through the dominion of the Srivijaya, a task fraught with peril. Still, as the sun rose, painting the eastern sky in hues of victory, Raja Raja Chola stood resolute. He was a warrior king, after all, and the thrill of the challenge resonated within him. 98 kilometers south of the modern city of nestled between emerald green palms and the sapphire expanse of the Indian Ocean, lay the ancient port city of Puhar. This was not just any city. It was the beating heart of Raja Raja Chola's maritime ambitions. Today, nothing remains of its former glory save the secrets held within the ocean's embrace. Underwater excavations have revealed a submerged marvel, a testament to the empire's zenith. What lies beneath the waves is a reminder of a time when Chola ships laden with spices, ivory and silk set sail for distant lands, returning with tales and treasures of their own. Beneath the surface, the ghosts of merchants haggling over cinnamon, of sailors sharing tales of mythical lands, of artisans showcasing the wonders of the east to the west, all come to life. Sonar images reveal the contours of a vanished world. The outlines of homes, shops, and docks tell stories without words. Bricks and pottery speak of a bygone era when the port bustled with activity. Street grids overlaid on nautical charts show how the urban design mirrored the efficiency of their naval routes. Even today, amidst the silent coral formations, anchors from Chola junks rest, their presence hinting at the ceaseless comings and goings of Europe. The muted colors of underwater life serve as both a backdrop and an epitome. Schools of fish weave between the ruins, their scales flashing silver and gold, mimicking the glint of treasure that once filled these waters. The rhythm of the tides ebbs and flows, a constant companion to the ghosts of Puhar, with each wave that crashes against the shore. It seems as if the spirit of the port city rises, only to sink back into the waves, taking its secrets down with it. 1,000 years later, our story comes full circle as we return to the mighty Chola capital. Here, the ocean's bounty was traded for riches that adorned the most luxurious of palaces. Over a millennium ago, the palace complex was a microcosm of the empire it governed. Within its high walls, the principles of urban planning, religious tolerance, and aesthetic grandeur that defined the Chola reign were on full display. At the heart of the palace lay the audience hall, a space designed for both statecraft and spectacle. Its pillars, intricately carved with scenes from Hindu epics, stood in silent testimony to the wealth and cultural depth of the empire. Sunlight streamed through open-work windows, illuminating the royal throne, a symbol of the king's earthly divinity. From here, Raja Raja Chola conducted government business, dispensing justice, receiving diplomats, and plotting future campaigns. The intricacy of the Chola court system unfolded around him like a well-oiled machine. Ministers clad in fine linen managed diverse portfolios, from agriculture and trade to defense and religious affairs. Accountants meticulously recorded revenue and expenditures on palm leaves, ensuring fiscal responsibility. Royal correspondence, sealed with precious gems, traveled not just across the empire, but to distant lands, forging alliances and conducting trade. The efficiency of the system was matched only by its tolerance. Hindu temples stood shoulder to shoulder with mosques and churches, reflecting the Chola policy of religious neutrality. This was not mere tolerance, but a recognition of the richness that different faiths brought to the empire. Water flowed freely through the palace complex, via a sophisticated network of aqueducts. Gardeners maintained the royal gardens, a blend of utility and beauty, providing food and aesthetics. Musicians tuned their instruments, ready to entertain the king at a moment's notice. In the evenings, dancers rehearsed, their movements precise and graceful, preparing for the nightly entertainment. Every facet of palace life thrummed with activity, yet it was far from the chaotic din of a bustling city. There was a rhythm to the routine, a harmony to the hubbub, a balance struck between duty and decorum. Life at the heart of the Chola Empire was a study in contrasts. Within the gilded cage of luxury, the wheels of state turned with precision, while merchants and artisans displayed their wares. Scholars debated philosophy, and musicians composed melodies that echoed the empire's grandeur. Even the king found moments of solitude amidst the opulence, seeking solace in quiet contemplation, reminding himself of the effort and duty that lay at the heart of such magnificence. As the evening shadows lengthened, the palace came alive with a different kind of energy. The queen, resplendent in silk and gold, oversaw the preparation of dinner. Her attendants fanned her gently, ensuring she was comfortable as she supervised the serving of exotic dishes. Outside, fireworks lit up the night sky, painting ephemeral patterns of orange, red, and gold. Amidst this grandeur, however, life was not without its intrigues. Noble families maneuvered for advantage, vying for the king's favor. Foreign ambassadors tested the limits of diplomacy, and rebellions flared at the edges of the empire, testing the might of the Chola army. Yet through it all, the palace held a beacon of wealth and power. Its foundations firmly rooted in the sweat of countless laborers and the disciplined minds of its administrators. For the Cholas, even luxury bowed to order. From the smallest detail of a dancer's pose to the grandest display of fireworks, everything had its place. This was not just a palace, it was a statement, a testament to an empire that thrived on the rhythm of calculated precision. In the end, though, it was this very precision, this very structure that spelled the beginning of the end for the Chola dynasty. Just as a tightly wound thread snaps suddenly, unexpectedly, internal rivalries and external pressures frayed the fabric of the empire. But that, my friends, is a tale for another time. For now, let the rhythm of the drums carry you away, the melody of the veena soothe your soul, and the vibrant hues of the Chola court linger in your memory. Until next time, may your days be filled with curiosity and your nights with peaceful dreams. Remember, the echoes of history resonate in every corner of our world. All we need to do is listen. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this adventure, please don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. Your support means the world to us. Now, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let the spirit of the Cholas guide you into a peaceful slumber. Sweet dreams.